So we've got that done. And so now, good evening. And today, yes, we are exploring the energy and archetype of Lilith. And Lilith is the original woman, pre-Eve, in ancient Judaism, considered a goddess. But very much almost written out of I was going to say history, but I guess out of myth. And you know, it doesn't really exist in kind of more modern versions of Judaism, and definitely doesn't exist in Christianity that came out of Judaism in terms of that story around the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve. But she was considered the original woman and was created before Adam in the Garden of Eden. But when Adam was created, she would not submit to him, and she would not give up her own sense of self and her own independence and her own journey and her own story, in order to serve Adam. So she was banished from the Garden of Eden and made to live on the outskirts, and then they created Eve from the rib of Adam. God. In the stories, God created Eve from the rib of Adam, and then she served Adam. She served him apples, but that's another story. But she was Lilith was banished, and lived her life very much on her own terms and very much in her own independence. But many stories were told about her, about how she married the devil and gave birth to devil children, wicked children, and then largely kind of got written out of the myths. But more recently, her energy and her archetype has started to be reclaimed as a figure for independence, for empowerment, for choosing your own path, and your own journey, even if it means that people will tell stories about you that aren't true and will cast you out from society. To stay true to yourself in spite of the consequences. And so this evening we're going to look at how we can start to let go of habits and patterns and self-limiting beliefs and self-criticism, self-doubt, and those things that keep us small and keep us contained and keep us in the spaces that we have outgrown or don't serve us anymore, or in those stories that we tell ourselves, the beliefs that we tell ourselves that we've maybe inherited from our families. Maybe they've been passed on generation after generation through our families, and we've inherited those, and we then continue to play those out in our lives, even though they're not necessarily ours. Or maybe they've also become ours and they are part of our story as well. But they're there and they're kind of very unconscious. So they're quite difficult to uproot, and yet we know that there's something there that you know, that is holding us back from really living our story, because and living our journey, because we're replaying those old habits, old patterns, or maybe they're also our patterns and our habits, but they're no longer serving us. They were serving us. Maybe they're part of our protection system, or were part of the protection system. Maybe they were there as coping strategies or managing strategies when we had less inner resources, and less support, and less healing. And so they were there, and now we've done some of that work, and so they're not so needed anymore. So we're going to look at those today and how they hold us back from actually really stepping into our truth, into the wholeness of who we are, and in really embracing who we came here to be, even if that means, you know, the stories that might be told about us. And you know, this is a common theme throughout history with women, strong women, we're independent women, women who charted their own path. You know, the witches, you know, have been very much maligned in our stories and in our mythologies, and yet they're the original medicine women. Because they were seen as powerful, and so the patriarchy created these stories about witches and hags and crones, and the crone is about the older wisdom woman, and yet we ignore and disregard and hide away our older women who have the wisdom, and we are obsessed with youth. And you know, and again, that's another thing that's been placed upon us. You know, we can reclaim these words, we can reclaim these titles, we can reclaim the medicine woman, we can reclaim the wisdom woman, we can reclaim these things that have been said about women, we who are called bitches or slags, or you know, seen as, you know, the sexually promiscuous and leading people astray, and all of these stories that are told about women because they are strong and they are independent and they insist on living their life that they came here to live. So that's what we're going to reclaim. We're going to reclaim some of that for ourselves and let go of some of those habits and patterns that keep us small, keep us safe too, but keep us away from really being able to shine that light, shine our light, our wild light, our raw, untamed, hag, crone, slag light, and allow ourselves to really own those parts of ourselves that we have perhaps annexed into kind of small contained niceness. So yeah, so we're going to start with a meditation. It's called For Healing Addictions, but it's and yes, it has its place in terms of being able to do that for perhaps what we understand as addictions, in terms of, you know, alcohol or drugs or food or whatever that might be. But we also have an addiction to those stories. We have addictions to those habits. We have addictions to those patterns that we keep playing out. We keep playing out even though we don't want to anymore. And so it breaks those patterns and breaks those cycles. So that's what that meditation is for. And then we're going to come to a kriya called For the Elementary Personality. And this is about getting beneath all of those layers and all of those conditions and all of those stories and all of those things, and really connecting with the truth of who we are, the light of who we are, underneath all of that. Working with the Saturn and Jupiter energy to do that. And Saturn is the great teacher, and Jupiter is like the great benefic. Anything he touches expands. So anywhere we put our focus expands when we work with Jupiter. And then Saturn is the great teacher, and he often teaches through time and through learning and through effort, and you know, you know, we learn through doing something 10,000 times, and that becomes our new habit. Saturn is very much that kind of teacher of learning through doing something 10,000 times. So we're going to call on these two great teachers to help us to really uncover who we are. And then we'll see, if we have time, we're going to do a meditation which is all about generating self-belief and self-worth within ourselves. So yeah, let's come and check in and tune in with ourselves first, finding that comfortable sitting position for today. whatever that position might be for you. And it can be different from what it was last week, and it can be different from what it was yesterday, and it can be different from what it was half an hour ago. Whatever that is for you today, that enables your spine to be straight and your feet on the floor, and for you to be comfortable. It does not need for you to sit on the floor if that is not where you're at today. And just drawing the gaze downwards or closing down the eyes, breathing into your belly, expanding the belly on the inhale, contracting the belly on the exhale. Feeling the rise and the fall of the belly with the breath, welcoming the breath into the body. The breath is breath of life, is prana, our life force energy. Bringing attention to that breath, to that life force that flows in and out of the body every moment of the day. Letting us know that we are alive, that we are here. Expanding the belly on the inhale, contracting the belly on the exhale. Feeling that expansion on the inhale, all the way up to expanding the chest, expanding the collar up to the collarbones. Feeling that contraction on the exhale, the gentle release, the gentle letting go on the exhale. And if it feels like something that you would like right now, choosing to inhale it's choosing to inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Ah. Ah. Letting it go, releasing, less signaling to your nervous system, to your body. You can let it go. You can allow the parasympathetic nervous system to start to switch on. You are safe in this moment, in this space, in this body. You are safe. Exhaling up through the mouth, sighing in. Or maybe you even want to bring a yawn. Even bigger signal to the nervous system to allow it to rest, to allow it to reset. Couple more times. And then gently returning the breath back to inhaling and exhaling through the nose. But maybe you want to do so with pursed lips, just a gentle return to it, not a strong return. If the exhale still wants to come out the mouth, then letting it, allowing it to come out slowly, gently. Scanning the body from the toes to the crown of the head. Noticing any tightness or tension or pressure or holding, constriction in the body. Noticing what is here and what is showing up for you in the body that maybe you've not even noticed up until this moment. Or maybe you've been holding your day, or holding the tension of your day, or your week, or your month, or your year. Just noticing where you might be holding that, maybe in the jaw, in your shoulders, or in your belly, in your hips, or anywhere else at all, wherever it might be showing up for you. Just noticing that, acknowledging it, witnessing it. No judgment, no blame, no analysis. Simply noticing what is here and present in the body. Offering it compassion if that feels good. No wonder this part of me feels like this. No wonder that part of me feels like that. No wonder. No wonder. Simply noticing all that is here. And then dropping into the heart space in the center of the chest. Breathing into this space in the heart, in the center of the chest. Noticing what might be arising for you here. Any sensations, any feelings, any emotion. Tiredness, perhaps, more tension. Whatever might be here. Allowing the mind to do whatever it wants to do, but bringing your attention to the body. Maybe the mind is running through your to-do list or everything that's happened in your day, or just letting it do that, but bringing your focus into the body. Breathing into the heart space. Breathing into all that is present here for you, all that is arising in this heart space. Hearing your heart beating here. The beat and the rhythm of your life. The heart that never stops beating. Your life force energy here, breathing into this space. And just inquiring and seeing, does my heart have a message for me in this moment? Does my heart have something it wants to share with me? It can be anything at all, and it might be a word or a sentence or a phrase, or it might be an image or a color or a sensation. Or there may be nothing at all, and that is all totally fine. That is all totally normal. There is no judgment, no criticism, no analysis of whatever is here or is not here. Simply acknowledging whatever might arise for you, however you might be feeling, whatever is here. And sensing the ground beneath you now, beneath your feet, beneath your pelvis, beneath your sit bones, beneath wherever you have contact with the floor. Feeling the ground rising up to meet you as the body comes down to meet the earth. The contact points with the floor. Feeling those contact points and feeling the earth rising up to meet you, to hold you, to provide you with support, stability, security. Feeling the grounding energy of the earth here, holding you. And lightly engaging on the pelvic floor and drawing the navel point in if that feels good, to bring extra stability and security into the pelvis. Allowing the spine to rise up and feel perfectly balanced and supported in the pelvis, releasing shoulders away from the ears and down the back. Expand and open the chest and draw the chin in towards the neck. Inhaling deeply, rubbing the palms of the hands together. Exhaling deeply. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling, drawing hands into the heart center in prayer position, pushing thumbs gently into the sternum. Inhaling to tune in. Om Namo Buddhaya. Namo. Om Namo Buddhaya. Namo. Om Namo Buddhaya. Namo. Adgadaname, Jagadgadaname, Sadgadaname, Siddhgadaname. Adgadaname, Jagadgadaname, Sadgadaname, Siddhgadaname. Adgarename, Shagadgarename, Sadgarename, Sadigarename. Inhaling deeply. Suspend the breath. Crystallize the vibrations of the mantras. And exhaling and releasing hands into your lap. And if there was a message from your heart, in whatever form that might have taken, if it feels good to turn it into an intention and state it 3 times in the present tense, as though it is already happening. Starting to put your energy and your focus behind whatever it was that was arising for you at the heart space. And you can do that. Or you could use the intention, this surrender to all that is, and let go of habits and patterns that no longer serve me. I surrender to all that is and let go of habits and patterns that no longer serve me. Whichever feels right for you today. And after you've stated it 3 times, you can gently let it go into the universe on an exhale. And you can keep the eyes closed, and we'll come straight into this meditation, which we're going to use a mantra which will mentally vibrate, which is Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. Means birth, life, death, rebirth. This is the cycle of everything. It's the cycle of our habits and patterns. And we can also come and bring those cycles and patterns to their death phase and rebirth with some new pattern that we can replace in its place, bringing in its place of the old one. Because whenever there is a void, always something new comes in. But if we replace them with something that is serves us now, supports us now, and supports us to live and be the person that we came here to be. This is what this mantra is doing. It's the seed sounds of Satnam, truth, I am truth, the seed sounds of this. But we're going to mentally vibrate it, and you can keep the eyes closed and eyes focused at the 3rd eye point, the space between the eyebrows, and just bring the hands into loose fists with the thumbs pointing out, and bring the thumb tips to your temples and finding that little space at the temples that's like the little dent in, and just gently pressing your thumb tips into those temple spaces. Mouth is closed, and bring the teeth together, keeping them together. And for each sound, Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, we're going to bring the molars together, the teeth at the back of the jaws together, and then release them. So we're kind of bringing the teeth together and releasing them for each sound. Sa, Ta, Na, Ma. I'm going to play a track as we do this. So we're going to hold this space, and you'll start to feel that as you bring the molars together and apart, you'll feel that movement underneath your thumbs at your temples. So I'll play the track of Satanama and just mentally vibrate along with it as you bring the molars together and release them, keeping the mouth closed, keeping the teeth together, but just bringing the molars together and apart. That's sweet. Satanama, 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 Satanama. Release shoulders down and away from the ears as you do. Mentally vibrating the mantra as you squeeze the molars together and release them. Satanama, Satanama, Satanama.
Satanama, 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 Satanama,
Then maintain the posture. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. Inhale deeply. Exhale deeply. And then gently release the hands away from your face and into your lap. Keeping the eyes closed. Noticing how you feel. Noticing how the energy is moving. And the pressure from the thumbs and the use of the teeth is stimulating the pineal gland. It's helped us to rewire our neuroplasticity in our brains, which is where we have the grooves and the patterns and the habits. As we start to change that, working with the pineal gland, we can start to create new habits and patterns in our neuroplasm. So it's a great meditation to do for 40 days or more to really start to change that at the cellular level. But it's a good beginning in the sense of just getting a sense of how that feels. Give the feet a bit of, and the legs a bit of a shake out, and rotate the feet in one direction and then in the other, shaking the legs out. Snap, maybe windscreen might bring benefit. Or any other movements that might feel good for you, and then coming back to sit cross-legged, or in whatever position you're in. And then we're going to begin the Kriya, and this begins with a more meditative posture. We're going to bring the index and second fingers pointing straight up on both hands, and then bring the third and the fourth fingers underneath your thumbs and bring them down into your into the palms and holding them down with the thumbs, and then bring them out to the sides. The elbows are away from the chest, and the fingers are roughly kind of at ear level. And we're just going to, it's like we're cutting with these two fingers, the index and second finger, and just bringing them apart and back together, apart and back together. Like I said, it's like we're cutting. We're just going to do that for quite a while. This is quite a long meditation, so get into a comfortable position, find your way into it, and allow the movement of the fingers to draw you into deep meditation, focusing at your third eye point and just allowing thoughts to come and go in the mind, allowing the hamster wheel to go, allowing the lists and the worries and everything to be there, and the mind to tell you to stop, or that you're bored, or you're tired, or you need the toilet, or you need a drink, or whatever it might be. Allow it to tell you all of those things, and just keep going and just say, yes, mind, you carry on. You carry on your hamster wheel. I'm just going to sit here and move my fingers together and apart, and keep bringing your focus back to the third eye point, back to your breath, long, slow, deep breathing, fully expanding the belly on the inhale, contracting the belly on the exhale, expanding all the inhale all the way up from the belly into the chest, all the way up to the collarbones. And on the exhale, feeling that contraction in reverse, gently drawing the belly back towards the spine to ensure the breath is out at the end of the exhale, so that you can then fully inhale, slowing the breath down, working with your breath. You can even count the breath if that feels good, a count of anything that you choose that works for you, but keeping the inhale and exhale of equal length, of equal numbers, if you do. I'm going to play some music and just allow yourself to go through all of the things that the mind is going to bring up. Just keep cutting it, keep cutting it. We're not banishing those thoughts, we're allowing them to be there, but we're bringing the focus back to the breath, back to the third eye point, back to the movement of the fingers. You can also draw your focus to the tip of your nose, eyes slightly open, just gazing hazily at the tip of your nose. This eye focus at the tip of the nose can be a little more grounding than focusing at the third eye point. Your choice.
Shine upon
cutting away with your fingers anything that's no longer serving you, any habits and patterns that you have grown tired of that are old, that no longer serve who you are now. That you don't need those strategies, you don't need that form of protection anymore because you have something else. Just cutting all of that away, cutting away self-limiting beliefs, self-doubt, self-criticism that keeps you small, that keeps you hidden, that keeps you from shining your light, keeps you from your truth. Cut all of that away with your fingers. Keep going. We're about halfway now.
Mother, I feel you under my feet. Father, I hear your heartbeat within me. My spirit flies free. Carry me home. Carry me home. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Father, I hear your heartbeat within me. My spirit flies free. Carry me home. Carry me home. Carry me home.
Bringing the focus back to the breath. Back to the third eye point from the tip of the nose. Back to the movement of the fingers. Keep cutting away with the longer sleeves. All that is holding you.
vibrations, I can hear you loud. The story circles, it comes back around. We chant a call and watch them all go through. That door I never saw, I never knew. Me and you, we come from earth and water. Straight from that mountain's daughter. Back to the mother, we must journey now. We ride it up on the wings of sound. Hear it now, that holy tree is upside down. Branches in the ground, those roots and scalping third eye up past the nectar round. Inside the heart is that eternal space. That melody showed me my own true face. You chant a call, I chant a call. All in the one in the all. Love on the rise, it never falls. Reach out your hand and I can pull you in. Reach out your hand and I can pull you in.
And then stop the movement of the fingers, but maintain the posture and inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. And exhale. Maintain the posture. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. And exhale. Final time. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath. Really crystallize this energy in meditation. A feeling of cutting away all that no longer serves. And go all the things you've been holding on to, all the things you've been repeating. And exhale and release the hands into your lap. Notice how you feel. Notice how the energy is moving. Notice the energy in your hands. Notice any sense of relief or release or letting go. Then interlace the fingers and bring them behind your neck, gently cradling the base of the skull in your hands, gently pulling up, pulling the elbows out, releasing shoulders away from the ears, closing down the eyes, and in this position, deep breath of fire.
Mothers of your past, listen, they are calling for your healing. Can you see the faces of the fathers of your past? Listen, they are calling for your healing.
Father, I hear you.
Can you see the faces of the mothers of your past? Listen, they are calling for your healing.
Carrying on. Really starting to activate that energy in the navel. Feeling that diaphragm move. Working with the endocrine system in the gut, releasing and balancing the hormones. And maintaining the position, inhale deeply, and whilst holding this position, try and stretch every muscle in your body in every direction. Hold the breath, stretch, 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 stretch. Hold the position, hold the breath. Exhale, maintain the position. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and stretch in every direction whilst holding this position. Every muscle, stretch it, stretch it, stretch. Hold the breath. Hold the position. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale. Maintain the posture. Final time. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and stretch the muscles in every direction. Stretch, 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 stretch. And exhale, release the arms, sweep them out to the sides and into your lap. Notice how you feel. Release, relax, let go. Notice that releasing of tension. Notice that release. And the holding of that posture, the holding of the breath, the controlling of the breath. Notice the release, the letting go. Breathe. Relax. Feel that balance of hormones created in the body with the breath. Interlacing the fingers once more. Going to inhale, inhale, exhale movement. Do three movements. So we're going to inhale, hit the hands into your lap, and then inhale, hit the hands at the heart center. Exhale, punch. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Finding your rhythm with this, with your breath. Moving in time with your breath. Going as fast or as slow as feels good for you. Not hitting so hard you hurt yourself, but there should be some pressure here. We're really activating the nervous system here. to release stress, to release tension, to let it go. Closing down the eyes once you've got the hang of it. Focusing at your third eye point. Inhale, inhale, exhale. We work on everything else in our lives. We work to achieve, we work to support our relationships, we work and work. And we don't work on ourselves. We forget about ourselves. This Kriya is all about, and everything in Kundalini is about working on ourselves, connecting to ourselves, recognizing the importance of ourselves, recognizing the importance of doing the work, and becoming aware of our habits and patterns and unconscious things that drive us, but maybe don't serve us. Calling on the energy of Lilleth to help us to let go and release and claim our independence, claim our power, and claim that courage to live from our hearts, to live from our truth, and to shine our lights, even if it's not always welcome. And then completing a cycle, inhaling deeply and stretching the arms up overhead, suspending the breath. And then exhaling, sweeping the arms out to the sides, through the aura, back into your life. Allowing yourself to deeply relax, to release. Noticing how you feel, noticing how the body is. Noticing how your nervous system is. Noticing what is going on for you in your body. Breathe. Rest. With this sat a little while, bring the legs out once more, giving them a shape, giving those ankles a rotation, maybe giving the wrists a bit of a rotation as well. Shaking the legs, snapping the legs, whatever you need. Changing positions if it has become uncomfortable. And then coming back to whatever your comfortable sitting position is. Bring the right arm up to the height of the shoulder, palm facing forwards, allowing the elbow to just gently rest on the ribs. Bring the left hand over the chest, thumb pointing up, fingertips together, pointing towards your right hand. Closing down the eyes, we're coming to another short meditation this time. Breathing long, slow, deep, full, expansive breaths, fully expanding the belly, expanding the chest on the inhale. Feeling the gentle contraction on reverse of the exhale, gently pulling belly back towards the spine. And as you do so, feeling yourself feeling full of love for yourself, love for your life, love for others, love for nature, filling yourself full of love. And as you fill yourself with love, feel yourself letting go of your fears, letting go of the criticism, letting go of the judgment, letting go of needing to please other people, needing to serve other people. Just feeling that love and knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. You are never too much. You are never not enough. You are enough. You are love. You are light. You are purity. Letting go of the fear. Letting go of the judgment. Letting go of the doubt. Finding the courage of Lilleth. Claim your independence. Claim your power. To live with the knowledge of the light of you, the truth of you, knowing who you are. Listening to this mantra, Om So Hum, I am infinite. Inhaling deeply. Exhale, releasing hands into the earth. Feeling this energy of love. Feeling that energy of love taking over all of the old habits and patterns, self-limiting beliefs, criticism, the fear. But as we remove these things, we replace them with love. Breathe. Notice how you feel. Shake the legs out once more. We're going to come standing. I'm just going to move my camera up. And having done all of that work, we're going to dance. I'm going to put some music on and just dance. Let the music take you wherever you want to go, but just shake it all out. Let it all out. Shake out anything that's limiting you, holding you back.
Consciousness and intelligence and ego take exactly the same energy. Happiness is in the palm of your hand. If you take it. Life is a constant flow of love. Only takes your participation. Participation is requested. Your participation is requested.
keep going. We'll have a pause. Another run. Finding your way back to the center of you, starting to gather that energy back in until you find your way to stillness. Bring the arms out to the sides, palms facing forwards. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling deeply, releasing shoulders away from the ears. Feeling the strength of your legs, the strength of the earth beneath your feet, coming up the legs and holding and supporting you, providing stability and security. And then come sitting down, whatever the comfortable sitting position is now. With a couple more postures and then relaxation. We're sitting a moment, just allowing the energy to come back down, to kind of settle into you, calling all that energy back in. And then raise the arms up over the head. And in this position, we're going to rotate the waist, the spine around the pelvis. So it's like going to do big circles whilst holding the hands, allowing that movement, really coming to side, forwards, back. Doesn't matter which direction you go in. Choosing that direction. Inhaling as you come forwards. Exhaling as you come back. Sorry, other way around. Inhaling as you come back. Exhaling as you come forwards. Eyes closed, focused on the third eye point. And then coming to center, the arms up over the head, inhaling deeply, suspend the breath. Crystallizes energy. Squeeze up on the pelvic floor. Draw the navel point in. Hold and squeeze, send that energy up the spine. And then exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, through the auras, into your lap. Noticing how you feel. Noticing how the energy is moving. And then to this track, just start to whistle along. Doesn't matter if you can whistle, take it. If you can't, make the movement with your mouth as though you can. Just whistle along to this track. Inhaling deeply through the nose, suspending the breath. Squeezing up on the pelvic floor, draw the navel point in, hold and squeeze. And exhale and release and relax, and keeping eyes closed as much as you're able to. Come lying down for deep relaxation. Legs coming out in front of you, arms to the sides, palms facing upwards, covering yourself with a blanket. I'm going to put a track on, which is a prayer to Lilleth. Just allowing yourself to absorb and integrate the energies of this practice. Allowing yourself to release what is no longer serving. And calling on the courage of Lilleth to live the life that you came here to live.
The one with tangled hair where insects nest. The one with blood-soaked thighs. The one who crushes my concepts with her razor teeth and spits my mind into the wind. She shakes her belly to the beat of primordial passion and feasts on the meat of ignorance. She wanders in the garden with a basket woven with the chaos of stars. She is naked and savoring every petal and thorn. She churns the wheel of time and casts the seeds of manifestation without rhyme or reason. She is senseless and crazy, innocent and free. Her skin is the color of heartbreak, and her eyes the sound of laughter. She takes no prisoner. She cannot be contained or rationalized. She won't conform to my ideas of what reality is or how things should be. Just when I think I have her under control, she takes me down. She will not be dominated. She always wins. She stomps to the beat and throws her hips. She is the prowl of the panther and the leaping deer of supreme delight. Her hair smells of tobacco and pine. She carries a knife in her pocket and holds a lily in her hand. She is pure in heart. She is the darkness of thunder. She is the undercover agent of divine madness, whose ruthlessness is the compassion that severs my arrogance and undoes my separation, so that I may know her deeply and drink in the wild radiance of her holy mess. With all that I am, I submit to her. With all that I am, I prostrate before her insane beauty. She demands the death of all my control. When I am humble and true, she comes to me. Dance, she says. Why aren't you dancing? I surrender all reason. She will not be tamed. My submission is my devotion. I have tried to control her in 10,000 ways. Tried to seduce her into my happiness. Yet she is the grace that smashes all hope and opens up the blessed wound of living. When I'm exhausted and weary, she brings me to my knees. Her muddy feet are the altar of worship. The palace of freedom where joy is born. I love her. This feral beast woman, spinning chaos and tenderness with her fingertips, whose tongue speaks no meaning, whose laughter is the rose of shameless beauty, whose smile is the sword that slays all striving. To the one who can never be possessed or contained, I submit. To the one who is drenched in the nectar of love. To the one who demands nothing less. To the goddess of reality. With her because there is nothing left to do. I dance with her because there is nothing left to do.
Gently starting to breathe back into your body, starting to gather your consciousness back into the body, feeling the breath in the belly, the chest, across the nostrils. Breathing deeper and longer on your inhales than your exhales. Deepening the inhales, strengthening the inhale. Gently wiggling fingers and toes, rotating wrists and ankles. One way, and then the other. Inhaling the arms up over the head, pointing the toes and stretching the full length of your body, from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. And then exhaling the arms back down. Inhaling the knees into your chest and wrapping the arms around the knees and gently rocking from side to side, massaging the lower back. And then coming to center, Bring the arms out wide on the floor, bending them at the elbows if you don't have the room. Inhaling the knees at the center, and then gently dropping the knees to one side and turning your head in the opposite direction from your knees. Inhaling into the twist and the stretch of the spine. And exhaling, releasing a little more tension. And then inhaling the knees back up to center. And exhaling them over to the other side. Head going in the opposite direction from the knees once more. Inhaling into the twist and the stretch of the spine on this side. And exhaling, releasing a little more tension. Inhale the knees back up to center now. And choosing to either gently drop the knees to one side, turning onto your side and pausing here a few moments before you push yourself to seated. Or bring the arms around the knees, squeeze nose between the knees and rock and roll the full length of your spine until you come up to seated. Whichever feels good for you today. Inhaling deeply, rubbing the palms of the hands together. Exhaling deeply. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling, drawing hands into the heart center in prayer position, pushing thumbs gently into the sternum. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. With great love and respect, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. With great love and respect, I honor she whose body is the earth. Satnam. Satnam.